If in 2026 you are buying fully synthetic motor oil for your vehicle, there is an exceptionally high probability that the bottle sitting in your hand is outright lying to you. I do not mean that in a poetic or metaphorical sense. That bold label printed across the front claiming fully synthetic or 100% synthetic is completely devoid of proper legal regulation. Any oil blender or distributor can print those exact words on heavily refined conventional crude oil and ship it directly to your local motoring store, supermarket shelf, or online marketplace legally, with zero financial consequences, zero regulatory oversight, and zero consumer protection warnings. The most absurd part of this entire situation is that this trick has been happening quietly since the late 1990s, when a landmark legal loophole allowed manufacturers to legally market heavily hydrocracked conventional petroleum as a fully synthetic product. Most British motorists who grew up taking care of their vehicles learned to place their trust in familiar brand names on the shelf at stores like Halfords or Europcar Parts. The logical assumption has always been simple. A premium brand name with a glossy gold or silver label means a premium engineering product inside. In some rare cases, that assumption holds true. However, 7 prominent brands on the market right now are directly exploiting that unearned consumer trust, while your car engine suffers the silent, expensive consequences under the bonnet. To understand why this is happening and how to protect your vehicle, we have to look at what is actually inside those plastic bottles, because the underlying chemistry matters enormously to the survival of a modern motor. Motor oils are manufactured using 4 main categories of base stock. Group 3 base oil is heavily hydrocracked petroleum. In simple terms, it is refined dinosaur oil that has undergone severe hydrogen processing to smooth out its molecular chain, allowing manufacturers to legally brand it as synthetic. Group 4 base oil consists of true polyalpha olefins, commonly known as PAO, which are built entirely from scratch inside a chemical laboratory with perfect molecular uniformity. Group 5 base oil includes ester-based formulations, which represent the most advanced synthetic lubrication technology currently available on planet Earth. The genuine high-performance synthetic lubricants on the market utilize expensive Group 4 and Group 5 base stocks. The deceptive, low-tier products rely heavily on cheap Group 3 petroleum. These budget blenders charge you premium Group 4 prices while relying on the fact that you cannot possibly distinguish the underlying chemical composition just by looking at a plastic bottle on a shop shelf. In modern turbocharged direct injection engines, which make up a massive proportion of the cars driven across the United Kingdom today, this chemical distinction is not merely an academic debate for scientists. It is the absolute difference between an engine running smoothly past 200,000 miles and one that starts accumulating catastrophic oil sludge, carbon buildup, and turbo-bearing failure at 60,000 miles. Let us begin with the 7 brands and categories you should strictly avoid, starting with number 7 on the list: generic supermarket and forecourt private label oils. This category includes low-cost motoring oils sold under budget chain brands, petrol station forecourt labels, discount retail private labels, and anonymous budget bottles listed on online shopping platforms for under £6 per litre. The additive packages inside these bargain formulations are deeply alarming. They meet the absolute bare minimum specification required to make the label technically legal to sell, and not a single molecule more. There is no advanced anti-wear chemistry, no long-term shear stability, and no thermal resistance built into the blend. Fleet testing data reveals that vehicles run on budget oils in this category experience failure rates 40 to 65% higher than those serviced with established high-grade lubricants. When a small displacement turbocharged engine like a Ford EcoBoost, a Vauxhall PureTech, or a modern small petrol engine begins accumulating thick black sludge in its narrow oil galleries, the eventual repair bill does not look anything like the few pounds you saved at the checkout register. Moving to number 6 on the avoid list: Amazon Basics Synthetic Motor Oil. Amazon entered the automotive lubricant market with hyper-aggressive pricing designed to shock established oil manufacturers, offering 5-litre jugs for under £22. It appears to be an incredible deal until you examine the chemical test sheets to see what is actually inside. Amazon Basics meets basic API and industry minimums, but completely lacks the robust high-performance additive packages required by modern turbocharged engines facing extreme temperature cycles. Think about driving in crawling bumper-to-bumper traffic on the M25 on a humid summer afternoon, or performing repeated freezing cold starts during a harsh Scottish winter. These severe driving conditions demand exceptional shear stability. For a naturally aspirated engine driven gently in mild conditions, a basic oil might barely suffice. For anything more demanding, you are running your engine on minimum protection, simply hoping that nothing breaks down under stress. Number 5 on the list deserves special scrutiny. Supertech and similar budget import brands that are increasingly available through online retailers shipping across the United Kingdom. Independent laboratory degradation tests show that Supertech formulations break down significantly faster under high thermal load than almost any comparable branded product in the automotive sector. Vehicle owners who use these products frequently report hydraulic lifter ticking, valve noise, and rapid sludge buildup. Those symptoms indicate that the protective oil film shielding metal components has already sheared and broken down. The moment you hear metallic tapping inside your cylinder head, engine wear is already actively taking place. Removing oil sludge and replacing damaged camshafts or turbochargers after late detection routinely costs between £3,000 and £5,000 in labour and replacement parts. That is a catastrophically expensive lesson to learn for the sake of saving £15 on a bottle of oil. Number 4 is where the situation becomes particularly deceptive. Valvoline Daily Protection. This is where consumer confusion reaches its peak, because Valvoline's top-tier synthetic lines are genuinely outstanding products. The company undoubtedly knows how to formulate world-class lubricants. However, their entry-level daily protection lineup is an entirely different story. British motorists who recognise the iconic Valvoline logo automatically assume consistent premium quality across the entire product range, and that assumption is the exact trap. Vehicle owners using the daily protection line have documented noticeable increases in oil consumption, rapid thermal breakdown, and engine varnish build-up, even in modern commuter cars. In older vehicles with tight mechanical tolerances, running an under-spec, highly volatile oil is practically merciless on internal bearings. At number 3, we have Fram-branded motor oil. Fram built its global reputation primarily on manufacturing filtration products. While their filtration line has decades of brand recognition, their motor oil line tells a completely different story. The additive chemistry inside Fram motor oil is strictly entry-level, and the thermal stability required by modern small-displacement turbo engines is simply not present in the formulation. The power of brand awareness does heavy lifting here. Motoring consumers see a name they already associate with quality oil filters, and they naturally assume that the exact same engineering standards have been applied to the liquid inside the bottle. Unfortunately, that is simply not the case. Numbers 2 and 1 on the list of brands to avoid are a paired category operating in the exact same shady space. Unbranded or obscure private label oils originating from unverified overseas suppliers that appear on major online shopping platforms. They arrive in slick, professional-looking containers decorated with bold claims of full synthetic technology, hypersport performance, and maximum protection. Yet, they provide absolutely zero verifiable laboratory test data, zero genuine original equipment manufacturer approvals, and zero official quality certifications. If a bottle of oil does not clearly display an authentic manufacturer approval code stamped on the back label, such as a genuine Volkswagen, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, or Ford specification number, put it back on the shelf immediately. That official manufacturer approval is not a mere marketing formality. It is the only independent verification you have that the fluid inside the bottle actually matches the promises printed on the outside. If this level of straightforward technical breakdown is helping you protect your engine and your hard-earned money, take 2 seconds right now to hit the subscribe button. Now that we have covered the deceptive labels to stay away from, let us shift our focus to the top 3 genuine fully synthetic motor oils that truly earn their synthetic title and provide uncompromising protection for your engine. First on the list of outstanding lubricants is the Total Quartz 9000 series. Total Energies is one of the largest energy companies on the planet, and their Quartz 9000 line is precisely where their massive research and engineering budget shines. This is a true Group 4 PAO-based synthetic lubricant packed with a high-performance additive package engineered specifically around internal engine cleanliness, soot suspension, and long-term wear mitigation. What makes Total Quartz exceptionally relevant for drivers in the United Kingdom and Europe is its extensive list of official manufacturer approvals from major automotive groups including Peugeot, Citroën, Vauxhall, Fiat, Renault and Ford. In a market where small turbocharged engines dominate the roads, having an oil that has been rigorously tested and certified by the exact engineers who designed your engine is priceless. It provides total peace of mind for both petrol and diesel drivers at a price point that remains exceptionally reasonable. Second on the list of high-grade lubricants is the Motul 8100 series. Motul is a legendary French manufacturer with a motorsport heritage so deep that comparing them to standard commercial oil blenders is almost unfair. The Motul 8100 X-Clean and X-Cess lines utilize genuine Group 5 ester-based chemistry alongside Group 4 synthetic bases, completely skipping cheap Group 3 mineral oils. Ester-based lubricants possess a unique molecular polarity that causes them to physically cling to internal engine metals like microscopic magnets. In practical terms, when you start your car on a freezing January morning in northern England or Scotland, the oil clinging to your camshafts, cylinder walls and crank bearings has never fully drained down into the sump. Because the vast majority of mechanical engine wear occurs during the first 30 seconds of a cold start before oil pressure stabilizes, Motul's ester formulation dramatically reduces metal-on-metal friction right at the moment your engine needs protection the most. For anyone driving a high-revving petrol car or a hard-working turbo diesel, Motul 8100 provides protection far superior to anything found in the budget aisle. Finally, at the absolute top of the tier, we have Liqui-Moly Synth-Oil High-Tech. This is precision German chemical engineering at its absolute finest. Liqui-Moly combines premium Group 4 PAO synthetic base oils with advanced Group 5 ester chemistry and tops it off with an ultra-sophisticated molybdenum disulfide friction modifier package. That creates 3 distinct layers of molecular defense working simultaneously inside your engine. In rigorous long-term fleet teardowns on real-world engines, professional mechanics who have worked on cars for decades describe the cleanliness and lack of wear produced by Liqui-Moly as genuinely shocking. It leads the industry in turbocharger protection, high-temperature oxidation resistance, and long-term sludge prevention. These 3 critical metrics matter immensely in European driving conditions, where motorways involve sustained high speeds and prolonged engine loads. While Liqui-Moly costs more per bottle than almost anything else on the retail shelf, the small cost difference between a top-tier lubricant and a budget bottle is completely negligible when weighed against a single turbo failure or ruined engine bearing that costs thousands of pounds to fix. If your goal is to keep your vehicle running smoothly past 200,000 miles without major mechanical failures, choosing a genuine synthetic lubricant is the single most important maintenance decision you will ever make. Now that you know the uncomfortable reality, you understand that the words fully synthetic, printed on a retail bottle, are often nothing more than a clever marketing story designed to sell you refined conventional petroleum at a premium price, while hidden sludge slowly damages your turbocharger. Discovering the real chemical differences between Group 3, Group 4 and Group 5 base oils puts you miles ahead of the vast majority of motorists who continue to damage their engines without even knowing it. But using top-tier synthetic oil is only half the battle when it comes to protecting your engine for the long haul. Even the absolute best Group 5 ester oil will quickly degrade and lose its protective qualities if it is forced to flow through a cheap, restrictive oil filter with a failing bypass valve. To see our brutal hands-on teardown, where we cut open the most popular oil filters on the market to reveal which ones actually protect your engine and which ones are dangerous junk, tap directly into the video showing on your screen right now.